Hey guys, come on in. I am Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs, and I am waiting to be shared into an event group with Lolly's Crafting Friends VIP, and I'm in an event with them. I'm excited to teach y'all some stuff that, let me turn that down, that I have learned, and I hope it goes well. I don't know how much time I'm going to have, but while I'm waiting, I am going to cut some stuff out. We are going to make, well, they're supposed to be flowers. The theme for today is mixed media. And anyway, I'm going to spend this next couple of minutes cutting these flowers out and show y'all what we're going to do with them. I saw this online. I cannot remember the gal who posted how to make this. And once you get past a reel, you don't get back to it. So anyway, we are going to, I've got some cardstock or scrapbook paper, that's what it's called. It's kind of like cardstock because this is kind of heavy. But anyway, so I got one more minute, just waiting to be shared into the group. Patricia's just finishing up. And let me see if I can, all right, there's Lolly's. And just waiting for them to send me into the group at 4 o'clock. How are y'all doing? Is everybody having a good day? I've been rushing around trying to get this craft done so that I can teach it to y'all. And I'm hoping I'm going to have time to put it all together. So we'll see how it goes. So this is one side, this is one side. Hey Molly, how are you? Come on in, good to see you. Thanks for joining me. I'm just gonna cut these out and start working towards, because I'm gonna need every minute I get. Usually I get on here and then I chat and for the first like 10 minutes, and then I can't get my craft done, and I thought, well, I'm gonna use these 2 minutes that I come on early to be shared into the group. And it is 4 o'clock now, so let me double check and make sure. Okay, Ollie, I'm in the group. Great, thank you. So I just want to get some of these cut out. I'm going to take y'all way, way back to school. And I don't know if you knew it or not, but I was a math teacher by profession and taught junior high students in public school for a little over 8 years, and then God called me to be a stay-at-home mom. And I never went back to public school. God never called me back. If he would have called me back to public school, I would have gone back. But he called me to be a stay-at-home mom. And then after I was a stay-at-home mom, hey, Patricia, you did a great job. Come on in, y'all. Pink Butterfly, how are you doing? Lori, come on in. Thanks for joining me, y'all. I am Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs. If you are new to my page name comes from the book of John, chapter 6, verse 12. Hey, Shay, come on in. Good to see you. Hey, Debbie. Debbie, come on in. My page name comes from John 6, verse 12, and it was when Jesus was feeding the multitudes, the fishes and the loaves, and after everybody was satisfied, Jesus told the disciples to go pick up the leftovers so that nothing was wasted. And that ties in with one of my life verses, which is all things work together for good for those who love God and are called according to his purpose. And when I started my business page, I asked the Lord, what do you want me to name this page? And he took me to John 6:12. And so he named the page for me. He is our leader, and we just follow, right? And it just makes life a whole lot easier for me. So I neglected to see that the mixed media project that we're supposed to do today had music sheets in it. So here I am, cutting out flowers on music sheets. So I'm going to show you what we're going to make, and then I'm going to teach you how to make it, and then we're going to put it together. That's kind of the direction that I'm going with. So I'm hoping that I have enough time to pull it all together. If not, y'all will be able to make these flowers yourself if you desire to. Some of you might get scared when I tell you that there is some geometry involved in it, some math, everybody's favorite subject, right? I wish I had a nickel for every time somebody told me that they hated math. Hey, Julie, come on in. One Julie to another. Good to see you. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. All right, so I'm getting these cut out. I've got a couple more to cut. And let's see. We're going to use this print here. I guess I must have been feeling like animal print today. But I want to get these cut out first. And then I'm going to show you how y'all can make these yourself with a compass, a pencil, a piece of paper, and a straight edge. I tend to be able to pick up on patterns pretty easily, so when I see somebody making something, it comes pretty easily for me. Anyway, I saw somebody making these little fold-up things, and I decided that I'm going to turn these into flowers today. And give me just a couple more minutes, and I'm going to get out my compass. And how many of you have worked with a compass before? Many of you remember working with a compass, drawing circles? Hey, Janet. Hey, Joyce. You know what I noticed? Speaking of recognizing patterns, Joyce, you and I either precede or follow each other on a regular basis. I have noticed that. And so I typically get to see a lot of the crafts that you do and enjoy watching you. So, all right, so here we go. So everybody got their compass and their straight edge ready, because this is going to be fun. I love stuff like this. I hope that I can inspire you to try this. Now, why am I teaching you how to make these? Oh, thank you for sharing me out. Appreciate that. Why am I teaching you how to make these and not just giving you a pattern? All right. Another one of my mottos is if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. But if you teach him to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Okay? So this is what we are going to make today. And let me see, I have one. I thought I had one somewhere. Where did it go? Okay, I've got one made out of music notes. I've got one that was made, I played with this color. This was a little bit dull for me, so I didn't want to do it. Now, let me show you what this does. This opens up, and you're going to see all of my little drawings and everything in there. And this is what I'm going to teach y'all how to do. And then we're going to take, and we're going to put these together. We're going to turn them into flowers, okay? So you just kind of collapse this on itself. You can make, if you sew, you can put some stabilizer on some back of fabric and turn these into like maybe a little pouch or a purse. Most people aren't. That's okay. Geometry is my weakest subject. But I loved working with a protractor and a compass. And the protractor had a straight edge on it. You can use any straight edge. But anyway, you could also turn these into like little pouches or something, maybe change purses or whatever. So I thought I really wanted to teach y'all how to make these. because I think it's fun, and you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody else thinks it's fun, but here we go. So let me get out, before I start this, we're going to paint this background. I'm going to put a variety of blues on here. Not really quite sure how this is going to go, but I'm going to put a variety of blues on here, and then this can be drying while we are doing some calculations or some drawings with a compass. All right, so let me get a piece of cardboard, and I'm going to put, I'm not sure these aren't the best colors, but I'm going to put, I don't want this to be too busy, but we'll see where this goes because of that other print. All right, so I'm going to put 3 different blues. That one's some of these look a little bit green. There's blue, yellow, purple, black, white, either red. There's a red and a fuchsia and some burgundy in these colors. So I'm going to pull out the blue, and I'm going to grab a brush, and I'm going to just triple load my brush, and we're going to take, and we are going to, I think I want to go this direction. How you doing?
Good.
And again, I'm going to triple load my brush. This is going to be my background. And then this way, while we're doing the compass fun stuff, this can be drying, and I won't have to put the heat tool, make any noise with it. And kill 2 birds with 1 stone. All right, and again, I'm going to just flip my brush, put some more paint on here. I think this is going to be pretty, y'all. Just loading my brush up, making sure I get in all the nooks and crannies of the canvas panel. This canvas panel is a 12 by 12 inch panel. All right. And I'm just putting 3 colors in here to give it some dimension. I think this is going to be pretty, y'all. I think this is going to be good. You know, it's kind of funny because every time I take and I put 3 different shades or values of paint together, I never know how it's going to turn out, but I always like it. I always like it. Like, I would not normally just put these colors together, you know, like separately, but it works. You mix them together, and it just really, I don't know, it just makes it pop. So, and just make sure that you cover. So, the theme for today, for those of you that, hey, Dagny, is that how you pronounce your name, Dagny? Hey, Doodle Denise, good to see you. Come on in. All right, so, loading the brush, flipping the brush, and putting a 3rd load on here. And then we are going to, this is going to be our background. And we're going to just get this done. Looks like I need some more paint. More paint. More paint is always good. I'm taking a watercolor class, y'all. I'm really excited about it. This gal, Tracy, oh, what is her last name? It's a Winesapple. Tracy Winesapple. And boy, am I having a good time learning from her. She is really just kind of simple, no nonsense, basics, and I'm learning quite a bit from her. So if any of y'all are interested in learning watercolor, she would be a good person to look up and learn from. All right, this is what we have. Isn't that pretty? Kind of looks like the ocean. Wasn't intended to look like the ocean, but There we are. All right, and then we've got, so I've got a light, a dark, and a medium, almost leaning, mostly blues, but some leaning to some greens in here also. And then the thing that I have to be careful that I don't do is, you see this thing right here? I always lay something on top of it. So as soon as I'm done, I got to get this out of the way so that I don't put my project in it. You would think as many times as I've done this that I would learn, but I haven't yet. And what do y'all's desks look like when you craft? Do y'all keep your stuff all neat and orderly and nothing in the way? I have a difficult time walking, so it's like I have to wait for someone to help me put my stuff away, and it doesn't always happen as quick as I'd like to, but you know, I'm thankful for the help that I can get. All right, so here we go. Isn't that pretty? I'm hoping these are going to look good on here, y'all. This is our, all right, I'm going to stick this up here, close this, and stick this up here, get that out of the way, and I do not think, as soon as I think I don't need this, I'm going to need it. So let me just check all of my sides, and then the fun is going to begin. Y'all, this is going to be so fun. I hope you're going to like it. I hope you're going to like it. So I don't know if I ever answered the question. Why am I teaching you how to make these as opposed to how to just draw a pattern? Because, you know, we've got all this technology these days that you can just look up something online and you can, all right, where did my paper go? All right, before I do anything else, I need to do this. I need to teach you this, okay? Bear with me. I'm going to try and make this as painless and exciting as I possibly can. All right, so let's start with, all right, I'm using a triangle, straight edge, any kind of straight edge. Ruler, folded piece of paper, book, any kind of straight edge, okay? If a carrot were straight, you could use a carrot, all right? Thanks. I got this off of Amazon. All right, so before I teach you anything else, I want to teach you this, all right? I'm going to take a line and let me see if I can get a nice dark line on here for you. All right, I can't find a Sharpie. All right, I'll just go over this several times. All right, I'm going to draw a line. Okay? And I'm going to mark this line off in one place on the end, and then I'm going to mark a place off on another end. Okay? See what we have? We've got a line. The line is going to start at this place, and it's going to end at that place. We're going to cut it in half. We're not going to use a ruler. I hear so many crafters say they don't like measuring, they don't like measuring, they don't like measuring. You don't have to, well, you kind of don't have to measure anything. What you're going to do to divide a line in half with a compass. This is my husband's compass that he used to use for drafting, okay? And what you're going to do, maybe I made this too wide. I probably made this too wide. All right, let me start over. I need to make this line shorter. I need to make it shorter. All right, so I'm going to just do a line like here. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this is because we're going to do this several times in the design that we're getting ready to do. All right, so what you want to do, this is a nice compass. You need a compass that will stay in its place, and I still get wrecked with these every so often. You're going to take the compass and you're going to put it on one end of the line. And you're going to change this is the radius of a circle from the center of the circle to the outside, okay? Just bear with me. Y'all are bright, intelligent people. I know you can get this. And you're going to open your compass so that, let me bring y'all in. You're going to open your compass so that it is past halfway. Doesn't have to be exact, but you want, halfway is going to be about right here. I'm going to make it a little bit past halfway, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your compass and you're going to put a mark above and below your line. Okay? Let me show you what I have. Okay? Let me get a back on this so that you can see it. All right. What I did was I put an arc above and below. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the other side of this line. I put the sharp point of the compass here, and I made an arc here and an arc there. Now I'm going to put the sharp point of the compass right here on the other side. Actually, it's going to be this one. I'm going to put the sharp point here, and I am going to draw another arc. And what you see is you see an X at the top and an X at the bottom. This will be true with every single line that you want to divide in half using a compass, okay? So you come over here, you put the sharp point of your compass here, you draw an arc at the top and then at the bottom. Then you take the sharp point of your compass and you move it over here, and now your pencil part of your compass is in the middle. And you're going to take your compass and you're going to draw an arc at the top and an arc at the bottom. Now, if you kept moving that compass all the way around, you would actually draw a circle on the right and a circle on the left. And but they are going to intersect. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to take the point where these two arcs cross, top and bottom, and I can draw a line between these two. I'm going to take my pencil. Now what I like to do is I like to take the tip of my pencil and put it on where the X is. And then what I do is I take and I butt my straight edge up to that point, and then I'm going to swing it around until I find the center of this circle down at the bottom. All right? And then you draw a line. Now what you have is this side and this side are the same distances, and you can measure it with your compass. Okay? You can take your compass, and this is important because we're going to use this in a minute. You're going to put it on one end, and you're going to open it up until it gets to the middle. And there's the middle right there. So this distance from here to here is this much. No numbers. No numbers are involved. And then you're going to come over here on this side, and you're going to put your sharp point on one of them, and you're going to find that, well, it's a little short, okay? But, so it probably has to do with where so there we go, that's better. It's a little short, but for our purposes, this is going to be okay. So let me do that one more time because y'all are going to see me do this several times, and I want you to be able to stay in touch and follow along with me. We're going to take a line. We're going to give it one end and another end. And now we're going to take our compass and we're going to open up. We're going to put the sharp point at one end. And you see, this is not more than halfway. So I need to open this up to about 2/3, about 2/3 or even 3/4. It doesn't really matter as long as it's greater than halfway. This keeps wanting to slip on this glass mat. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to do an arc up top, an arc at the bottom. And you'll notice that if I keep going, I will be able to have a complete circle, but I don't need the complete circle. So now I'm going to flip my paper around, and I'm going to put my sharp point on the top, on the end here, and I'm going to go on the top and the bottom. And what I have, let's see, what I have here are 2 X's. I'm going to take and put my straight edge at the cross of one X and the cross of another X down at the bottom. And the way I like to do it is I put my pencil on one of the intersections of those arcs, take and move my straight edge up to it, and then swing that around so that it's goes through this line. It will go through both of these crosses. And now what you have is you have this side and this side are the same length. Now, this is the next step that we are going to do. After we divide our circle, I wanted to do these separately so that y'all can follow along, because when I get going with this big circle and making all these marks, you would get lost if I didn't teach this to you first. So now what we have is we are going to take and we want to measure the distance with your compass. No numbers, no numbers. We're not working with numbers. We're only working with distances. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I want to take and I want to measure the distance from this arc to the center. Okay, and this is a little bit over, so I got to get it lined up. All right, so that's about right there. That's there. And when I come over here to this side, I should get, if I'm right, if I'm perfect, and it's right on the money there. So this distance from here to the middle and this distance from the top to the middle, or in your case, the bottom, are exactly the same. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this distance. I want to keep it the same. And I'm going to put the sharp point where this intersects. No, I'm not. Scratch that. I'm going to put the sharp point in the middle. I keep wanting to do that. I did that on almost every flower. I put the sharp point in the middle. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to draw an arc. And you're going to see that it goes right through both of these points, because this distance on this side and this side are the same, and we put the compass in the middle. And so we drew an arc from we put the point in the middle, and then we drew half of a circle from one point to the other. Are y'all still with me? Y'all still watching and with me? All right, so we're going to do this 6 times. And so let me get a big piece of paper. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to go over before I get going. All right, so y'all with me? Everybody with me? All right, I'm going to do this about, now, why am I teaching you this? Because if you can learn how to do this with a compass, you can make a pattern any size you want. Yeah, I know, you can put it on the printer and you can do, 75% and all of that, but isn't this more fun? Isn't this more fun? All right, so I'm going to do let me do 3.5, let me do 3 inches, 3.25 inches. I got them. I lied. There's the numbers. All right, so this circle is going to have a radius of 3.25 inches. So I'm going to put this about in the middle, and I'm going to take my compass, and I'm going to go around. Sometimes it's easier to move the paper. All right, let me bring y'all down. And I'm going to take a pencil, and where that little teeny tiny point was, I'm going to put a dot there so that it's easier for me to find. Don't have to do that. It just makes life a little bit easier. Now, this is the distance of the center of the circle to the outside, the radius. We're not going to change this. We're going to keep this the same. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put the sharp point of the compass anywhere on the circle, anywhere. It doesn't make any difference where you start. So I'm going to start, and I'm putting that point right on the circle, and I'm going to draw an arc. Let's see, where is it? Right here. See, I just drew an arc. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the compass, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to put that point where that arc and the circle intersect, where they cross. And I'm going to make another mark. And I'm going to do this kind of darker so y'all can see it. So now I have 2 marks. I need something behind it because it's... Let's see if that helps. So now I have 2 marks. 1, 2. They're the same distance because I have not changed the compass. And now I'm going to come in here. And I'm going to do 3, 4, 5, trying to get this as accurate as I can, 6, and then I hope that this is going to be lined up perfectly, and it is. Okay, so now what I have is there we go, I have 6 marks on the circle. I've divided that circle into 6 equal parts. The next step is to take your straight edge. Where is my small pencil? The thinner your lead, the more accurate you're going to be. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my straight edge, and where this arc or this line crosses the circle, I'm going to take and put my pencil right here on that intersection. And again, I'm going to butt my straight edge up to that, and I'm going to swing it around, and I'm going to find where that next arc crosses, and I'm going to connect this X with that X. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to connect this X with this X, and this X with that X, and this X with that X, and this X with that X, and this one, and come back around. And so we're going to do this 6 times, dividing the circle into 6 equal parts. And then we're going to turn it around. It gets fun. It gets fun. Now, if you change the distance or the length of your radius, you're going to change the size of your flower. If you have a bigger radius, you're going to get a bigger flower. If you have a smaller radius, you're going to get a smaller flower. And so the process is the same. It's exactly the same every single time to divide this into 6 equal parts. That one I was a little bit off. So I'm going to try and fix this. Okay? So now what you have is you have a hexagon inside the circle. This is where we are going to use, what time is it? I don't know how far I'm going to get into the crafting part, but anyway, this is what I want. This is what I really wanted to teach y'all. So what we need to do now is remember how we divided the line. This one doesn't have as much stuff back behind it. Remember how we had a line and then we made our compass about 2/3 the length, and then we put an arc at the top and an arc at the bottom, and then we take and we put the point of the compass on the other side, and we put an arc at the top and an arc at the bottom, and then we connected. I mean, we drew a line here. Well, this time we're not going to draw the whole line. what we're going to do is just put a little mark right here in the middle when we get to where we divide. All right, so here we go, y'all. All right, so I'm going to take and I'm going to put my compass, and I need to shorten this because it's going all the way. So I've got to bring this in. I'm going to do it about 2/3 or 3/4, and I'm going to put a line at the top and an arc at the bottom. Top and bottom. Then I'm going to switch this just like we did on the other one, and we're going to put an arc and an arc. And I'm going to go around. I'm going to do one of them, and then I'm going to do all of them pretty quickly. I'm going to take and match up these two X's with my straight edge, but instead of drawing a line all the way, I only need to draw a line right here where the middle of the circle, the middle of this line is. So I just have this point right here on the line, because my whole point for doing this is to divide this line into two pieces. Okay, I'm losing people. All right, so we're going to do the same thing again. I'm going to put an arc at the top, an arc at the bottom. I'm going to switch this, and I'm going to do an arc at the top, an arc at the bottom, and I'm going to come back with the straight edge and do the straight edge all at the same time. And then we're going to do an arc at the top, an arc at the bottom, and then switch over here to this side. All right, now see, I didn't make it quite long enough on that side, so I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to just lengthen that line. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to get a bunch of X's. Whoops, I got to do the bottom too. I want to show y'all how to fold these. All right, top and bottom, and then I'm going to swing over here. And top and bottom, and that one I didn't make long enough, so if you don't go past the middle, you won't intersect. And then we're going to do the same thing here. All right, got it. All right, so now we're just going to take our straight edge. I want to show y'all, we're almost there. We're going to take and I'm going to line these two up and just put a line where this line is midway. That's a midpoint. And we're going to come around. All right, that one's already done. And we're going to do the top and bottom, line it up, put a mark where oh, I missed this one here. I knew there was one that one. I didn't think I did them all. All right, so I'm going to take and put this point here, top and bottom, and then come over here, top and bottom, and then I'm going to put these in half. That's where this intersection is. Going to line up these two X's, put a line there. All right, so now what I have is I have a midpoint for each one of these. I'm going to come back and I'm going to measure the distance from here to here, from the middle to the outside of the line, and see what that distance is, just like I did before. And all right, all right, that looks like it's a little bit over, so all right, so there it is in the middle. And then I'm going to come over here to make sure it's the same. It's a little bit long. That one's good. Just kind of testing these to see how we did. That one looks good. That one looks good. Okay, we're good. So now we're going to take the point. This is where we're going to finish our flower, y'all. We're going to put the point in the middle of the line, and we're going to draw an arc. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to draw a line, put the point in the middle of the line, and we're going to draw an arc. You see, can you see that the flower is starting to come about? This is where our flower is going to be. And then you go to the middle of the line And you start at the end and go to the other side. And then you go in the middle of the line. And as you go around, you will have a flower. The kids love to do stuff like this. Usually adults don't like to do stuff. Whoops, I just came off of that line. Hold on. All right. And you're going to draw that half circle, and that's going to be your flower. And if you come out of it, you can feel where the compass goes. All right, so here's your flower. Well, let me put some paper behind it. All right, so here is our flower. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut around this edge, and that's where we are going. That's where our and I'm not going to do that particular one because it's too big to go on my canvas. So this is what we end up with. There's well, get some paper behind here. There's our flower, and all we did was draw circles and lines. You still with me? All right, so now we're going to take and I'm going to show y'all how to fold these. All right, once you make one size that you like, then that can be your pattern. You don't have to do this every single time. But this particular one that I drew with a pattern doesn't have the center of the flower in it. But that's okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to do some folding here. And we're going to take our flower. Remember, there are six petals in this. And so we're going to take, and we're going to fold it in half. And then now it turns into kind of like origami, but not really. And we're going to move, we're going to shift this. And you can see my flower's not perfect because my cutting's not perfect, but we can trim that up. And then we're going to take and we're going to just keep shifting this around until we line up every one of those petals with another petal. And there is a crease halfway in between each one of these. All right, so now we can find the center. All we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to put a dot in the middle here, and because we're going to need that. Okay, you notice that there is a fold between each one of the petals. So now what we're going to do is where the petals dip. Okay, you've got a peak and you've got a valley. You're going to take this in here, and you're going to fold this so that the valley in between here lines up, let's see if I can get it, with the dot in the middle. So you're lining this part up here with the dot. All right, so here we go around. We're going to go all the way around, and we're going to fold each one of these, taking where the dip is and lining it so that the lowest part of that dip lines up with the point in the center. And you're going to just keep going around until you get all of these done. And you'll be able to tell if you've got them all done, because if you go to fold it and it's already folded, then you're good. All right, now, this is where the next part, and I'm just going to fold it again. You can use a bone tool or score or whatever it's called. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take, if you notice, there is a crease here at the top, and then there are creases that come in from the sides. And so you're going to lay this down, and you want to take the top of the flower, and you're going to push there's like a triangle right here. We're going to bring this in, and we're gonna bring the side from the left and the right in, and this is gonna be sticking up, and then we're gonna lay it over and we're gonna crease it. The reason why we're doing this is because we crease the everything the same direction, but the creases need to go in opposite directions to get the pattern that we want. All right, so same thing again. We're gonna lay that down. We're gonna lift up the petal, and you're gonna lay down the petals on each side of it and fold that. Then you're gonna lift this up. You're gonna bring this down, and you're gonna see they're gonna start sticking up for you. And then you're gonna lift this up, and it's really kind of, when you're actually doing it, you'll see it. And you're gonna lay that over, and then you're gonna just keep going all the way around. Until you've gone, and now what's going to happen is this is going to come together like a flower. Hey, Shell Basket. It's going to come together like a flower, and you have to make sure that all of these petals go in the same direction in your circle. If you go in opposite directions, it won't work, but there you go. Once you get them going all in the same direction, there is your flower. Okay, so I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do one with, and you want your good side, you want your good side to be down. So when I fold this one, I'm not going to fold it with the good side up. I'm going to fold this with the good side down. So let me just do another one because we're going to need these. I'm going to go across the flower and fold it in half. Just fold it exactly in half. Then I'm going to lift this up, and I'm going to move this over one direction. And then I'm going to open it up, and I put these two together. So now I'm going to shift this and bring this over here. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to shift it again, and I'm going to go around the circle and make sure that I get creases on every one of the petals. And I missed this one, so I got to go one more. And we're going to start putting this together in just a minute. All right. Last thing we need to do, because we have done this, we can now find the center. I'm just going to put a little dot in here in the middle so that I can see it easier. And we're going to take each one of these petals, and we're going to take the valley, and we're going to put the dot at the low point of the petal and just keep going around. And like I said, you can use a bone, whatever that thing is called, bone bone folder, I think it's called. Where are my paper people? All right, so there we go. So we've got all of that done. So again, this is the hardest part, is you're going to find where the line is at the top of the petal, and you're going to fold that in half. And then when you do that, the petal on the left and the petal on the right are going to lay down, and then you're going to just turn it to the side, and you're going to crease it. This is going to help you fold this together as a flower. All right, so now I'm going to go to this petal. I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm going to lay it down. The petal to the right, the petal to the left are going to naturally fall down, and then you give it a crease. And then you pick it up, and you find the next one, you lay it down, and you fold it off to the side. I found that this is the easiest way to do this. And then you just keep going around the circle. And what this does is this makes it so that the paper will go in the direction that you want it to. And you just keep going around. And it is really pretty satisfying once you get it done. Now, if all of this is more than you want to do, then you can just go on, I guess, and get like a 6-sided flower and fold it and not have to do any of the other stuff. All right, so see how this is all going to come to the middle? I'm going to make sure that these all go in the same direction, and it's going to fold down. And these would make really, I had a friend who had a purse like this when she was younger. All right, here we go. We're going to do the music sheets because we're going to add some flower music sheets to this. I think this one is a little bit smaller because I made different sizes of these. And just keep going around, folding it in half and moving it over. And then going to the next one and moving it over one more. And let's see if I got them all. Nope, I got one more to go. I think that's it. Nope, I got one more still. All right, I need to get this one here. And you'll be able to tell which ones aren't folded. And you just line them up across the way. And then once you get them all folded, you'll be able to find the center. You mark it and you start folding your flowers. Open it up, you put the valley of the petals up to the dot in the center. And then you just keep rolling around there. I'm going to get some buttons out here in a minute. Okay, so that one's done. So we're going to take the tip of this, we're going to fold it, we're going to lay these down and kind of crease it, and we're going to move that. You can do it to the left or the right. It doesn't make any difference which way you go. And then you just keep going around, and then after I do this one, we're going to start putting some stuff together here, y'all. How are we doing on time? I got 10 minutes. Oh, I need to plug my glue gun in. I'll go ahead and do that. If you do this the way I'm doing it, you will find it much easier to get these folds to go in the direction that you want them to go in. You're kind of making, you're telling it where to go. All right, let me see, this one doesn't. You bring that up, because you've got to have the peak of the flower go out and the inside of it go in. All right, here we go. And see how it wants to naturally fall into place once you do that? And there you go. All right, so let me get my glue gun going. And we're going to put some buttons in here. And we're going to put these, we're going to put some skewers on here. All right, let's see what we got. We got that. Now, up after me is going to be Creations by J&J, Joyce with J&J Creations. All right. Oh, I've got these here too. All right, so I have a third color. And I got 3 different colors that we're going to put on here. This size here has a 1 3/4 inches. All right, let me do this one real quick so we can get a couple of these in here. Just crease it, open it up, turn it, kind of moving it around the circle. Open it up, take this one now and put it across the way. Okay, now you're going to pick this up. You're going to take this one, put it across the way. Actually, Let's see, that one and that one. All right, looks like I got them all. All right, again, you're going to find the circle, the center of the circle, and you're going to take and you're going to, now the stiffer your paper, the stiffer your flower is going to be. And I'm just going around the circle and putting the valley of each one of those petals up against that dot. And you don't want your paper to be too stiff, or it really is kind of hard to fold. I'm just waiting for my glue gun to get going. And then what we're going to do is we're going to decorate these flowers. All right, same thing. We're going to go back and, all right, we've done everything. So I'm going to take and I'm going to find the valley. I'm going to put it down and I'm going to put it off to the side. And then I'm going to lift up the next one and I'm going to put it down and I'm going to fold it off to the side, and I'm going to go all the way around the circle. If any of y'all try this, I would love to know. It would make my heart happy. All right, so now we've done each one of those. We're going to bring it. Nope, I didn't get this one here. Because if you don't give it that initial fold, it's not going to cooperate. And then you just pull these together, move them all in the same direction, and there you go. All right, so let me grab some buttons. I've got 6 minutes. There's some gold. There's some red. And maybe we'll do some black. All right. And these are my grandmother's buttons. I'm determined to use them this year. And I'm going to just take this little guy and we're going to put this right in the center here. All right, let's see if this is ready. Yep, okay. I'm going to just kind of glue this down a little bit so that it'll stay. And then I'm going to take and put this right in the middle. I'm going to hold that. And there we go. We've got a flower. And then we'll put a skewer on this. All right, same thing for this here. Let's see. Let's put a red button on this one. It's kind of pretty. Ooh, I like that one. All right, hang on. Let me cut this shank off. I don't know that I'm going to get to the decorating part, but I at least getting to the point that y'all can see how these turn out. All right, I'm going to put this on here. And I'm going to put the button on here. And there we go. All right, so for this one here, I think what I want to do for these here is I have some pearls here. Maybe I'll put a pearl in the middle of this one. I can probably cut one of these off of here. Where are my scissors? I got 4 minutes. This one might need a little bit bigger of a center, but we're going to go with this. Oh, and I'm going to put some of this underneath here. You kind of want a happy medium between. Now, the person that I saw making these was not making flowers. I'm turning them into flowers. Now, let me get a skewer. We'll put a skewer on the back of this. Let's see. Where is my board? Oh, yeah, that's going to be good. Is that, I thought I had a bigger flower. All right, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and cut some of this off of here. Now, if you wanted to make these and put them like in a flower arrangement, you can leave the point on there. But if you're just going to put it on, all right, let me put these up here. I had a whole bunch of other stuff I wanted to do with it too, but don't know that that's going to happen. All right, and then we're going to take and we're going to put this one down here. I got 2 minutes. Okay, we've got like, they kind of look like pinwheels. I don't mind using a compass and ruler, but I mind is having to use scissors and, oh, you know what? I am the same way, Joyce. I am the same way. I have a terrible, I'm a lousy cutter. Arthritis in my hands, and that's a difficult one for me. That is what she's saying. Hey, Denise. All right, so here we go, y'all. So these are here, and where is the music? Because there's the music ones, because we needed to get those in here. Denise, if you're just hopping on, you can go back to the beginning and see how I, like, really went all the way down to basics for, all right, and I'm going to do these a variety of sizes. Let's go ahead and put this in here. Joyce with J&J. I want to make sure I say it right. Creations by J&J is up after me, y'all. I've got 1 minute and I haven't decided how I'm going to arrange these on here, but now I do have a big one that I could put on here, and that would be kind of fun. Let me put a big one on here. And I'm going to just kind of go underneath this flap so that it holds down. We'll put a center on this. And a skewer. I think I want a red button on that one maybe. And I will finish this up and let y'all see what I end up doing. I'm going to put a red button on this one here. Ouch. And there we go. Fun, fun, fun. Well, I hope I've inspired y'all to try something new. I'm going to cut this off of here. We'll put the big one in the middle, and we will stagger these. And I will probably go back and add some other stuff to the board so that we can get some mixed media in here. So it's still got a long way to go. But anyway, I hope that was fun for y'all. And I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs. I just figured I'd give a little bit of a twist so that y'all saw something different. And go check out Joyce, refresh your page. And thank you to Ollie with Lolly's Crafting Friends VIP. Thank y'all for having me. Love y'all. Bye-bye.